B&B's The Rinse November 26th. Ridge makes things awkward at Thanksgiving. On The Bold and the Beautiful, on Wednesday, November 26, 2025, Ridge arrived at the Cliff House for Thanksgiving. He wanted to celebrate the holiday with his family despite being married to Brooke. Key takeaways. Steffi and Taylor started cooking Thanksgiving dinner. Ridge showed up, surprising everyone. He hung out with Finn and the kids in the kitchen. It didn't take Ridge long to pay Taylor compliments. Thanksgiving with the Forresters. Steffi, Jacqueline McInnes Wood, and Finn, Tanner Novlin, hosted Thanksgiving dinner at the Cliff House. They started cooking in the kitchen with Taylor, Rebecca Budig, Kelly, Sophia Paras McKinley, and Hayes, Brian David Garlick. Taylor loved the idea of wearing matching aprons, which was Kelly's idea. Meanwhile, they're cooking the greatest feasts to beat all feasts. Kelly wanted to make sure everything tasted delicious. Ridge, Torsten K., showed up with a bouquet in hand. The kids were thrilled to see him and asked if he was staying. He assured them that he was spending Thanksgiving with his family as he gave the flowers to Taylor. Giving thanks. It's a time to be thankful. The Forresters went through a lot with their fashion house and with Luna, Lisa Yamada. They got their company back, and Luna has been declared dead. She got hit by a car while she approached a moving vehicle. The Forresters gathered around the table and shared what they were thankful for. Steffi was emotional because of all they went through and overcame. But she was particularly surprised to see her dad at the dinner table. She didn't expect this to happen. Why is Ridge there? It turned out that Ridge was the surprise guest. Sorry, B&B viewers, but it wasn't Thomas, Matthew Atkinson, who showed up to dinner. Ridge didn't celebrate the holiday with Brooke, Catherine Kelly Lang, but rather with his ex-wife, Taylor, and their family. He said he considered them family. Not the Logans. Arguably, Ridge did say he had a Thanksgiving lunch with Eric, John McCook, Donna, Jennifer Garais, and Brooke, but he still had room for more food. He also had room in his heart for another woman. Once again, Ridge toyed with Taylor's feelings. It didn't take long for him to feed her compliments. Does Ridge want Taylor back? He also said there was no other place he'd rather be than with his ex-wife. He's giving mixed messages again, which is confusing for Steffi and Taylor. Steffi looked at her parents with a big smile on her face. She knew that her dad still loved Taylor. Does this mean that Ridge will spend Christmas with Brooke? Earlier this year, she claimed that she would have Ridge back by the holidays. But it's not looking too good for the couple. Forrester Thanksgiving at the mansion was supposed to be elegant, warm, and predictable, like every holiday photo the family ever released to the press. The table glowed under dimmed chandeliers, the good china sparkled, and the floral centerpiece had the kind of sculpted perfection that only came from a florist who charged per petal. Everyone had rehearsed their smiles. They knew the drill: gratitude, grace, and at least the illusion of familial unity. But this was a Forrester gathering, and illusions never lasted long. The calm before the awkward. Brooke Logan stood by the mirror in the foyer, adjusting a golden earring and telling herself she was ready. Ready for the turkey. Ready for the pumpkin pie. Ready for the silent glances, the long grudges, the occasional toasts weaponized with subtext. What she was not ready for was Ridge. Ridge Forrester, the man whose presence could fill a room and empty her sanity in the same breath, was currently in the kitchen helping, which meant telling the chef what a turkey should look like, despite knowing exactly nothing about poultry beyond carving it with the same swagger he brought to designing a couture gown. "Brooke!" Quinn called, sweeping past her. "One of the soufflés is collapsing. Or something. I don't know, I don't bake drama-free food." Brooke frowned. "Why are you even here, Quinn? Didn't you and Eric agree?" "Holiday ceasefire," Quinn said, waving her hand. "Tradition. Like cranberry sauce nobody eats." Brooke sighed. This house needed more locks. Or maybe less doors. 2. Ridge arrives with a rinse? The thing about Ridge was that he could make an entrance even when he was already in the house. His voice traveled ahead of him, smooth and confident. "Everyone, before dinner, I need your attention." Everyone groaned, except for Eric, who smiled indulgently since Ridge was still, in a cosmic sense, his favorite headache. Ridge strolled into the dining room carrying a bottle. Not wine. Not champagne. A bottle of shampoo. Brooke blinked. Hope gasped. Thomas muttered, "Oh, not again." Ridge beamed like a man about to deliver a TED Talk on conditioner. "It's called the Rinse," Ridge announced. "It's my new signature hair product line. A Forrester Creations exclusive." Silence. 3. The Rinse Incident. In the hierarchy of poor decisions Ridge Forrester had made, what happened next would earn at least an honorable mention. And the rinse, deep indigo in color, splashed in a shimmering arc across the tablecloth, landing like a comet on the pristine linen. Everyone gasped. The centerpiece absorbed the brunt of it. Blossoms turned blue. The turkey, tragically caught in the crossfire, now glistened like a galaxy bird. Quinn screamed, "My soufflé may collapse, but at least it won't be purple." Brooke stared at him. "Ridge, why would you bring hair product to Thanksgiving?" He blinked. "To share. And open it over the table?" Brooke's voice lifted an octave humans usually reserved for emergency hotlines. Ridge shrugged. "It's non-staining." "Think." The chemist said probably. "Probably." Hope squeaked. Thomas poked the turkey with a fork. "It stained the tines." He whispered, "The turkey has become one with the void." For the spiral begins. The meal was temporarily paused while everyone tried to determine whether an indigo turkey was edible, cursed, or both. Steffi appeared late, because of course she did, and stopped short at the sight. "Okay," she said slowly. "Who murdered Thanksgiving?" "Ask your father," Brooke snapped. Ridge held up his hands. "This is salvageable. We can cut around the part that got rinsed." Steffi pressed her fingers to her temples. "Dad, Thanksgiving is not an opportunity for brand synergy." Quinn snorted. "It is when your father's involved. If Ridge could trademark air, he would." Ridge pointed a finger. "Don't knock the entrepreneurial spirit." "You dumped shampoo on a bird," she shot back. Eric tried to restore peace. "Let's focus on gratitude, everyone. We are fortunate to be together." "And purple," muttered Liam. The tension simmered. Eyes narrowed across the table. Old grudges poked their heads out like holiday gophers. Brooke took a deep breath. "Ridge, you're making this awkward." "What?" "I'm being festive." "Festive doesn't mean staining the turkey with your liquid ego." A Thanksgiving toast. Gone wrong.